As hardcore Whovians, we all love Doctor Who, and who can blame us? It is the greatest show in all of time and space. It deserves the utmost respect and recognition. However, it is important to remember that Doctor Who is also pretty silly, and that's half of the charm. The show's creators are keenly aware of this, and as such, Doctor Who frequently pokes fun at itself, sometimes breaking the fourth wall entirely to make sure everyone knows it's self-aware. With that in mind, I'm Will for WhoCulture, and here are the 10 most meta Doctor Who moments ever. 10. Time Crash. What could be more meta than two iconic Doctors taking the absolute mickey out of one another? This 2007 Children in Need special was penned by the king of meta himself, Stephen Moffat, and it features 5th Doctor Peter Davison crossing paths with 10th Doctor David Tennant, making for a magnificently meta mini-episode. What makes it work so brilliantly is that the 10th Doctor remembers being the 5th, but the 5th Doctor has no idea who the 10th Doctor is, leading to some outrageous comedy. There are well-meaning jabs at the 5th Doctor's costume, his brainy specs, his trademark celery, and the fact that he's noticeably older than he was last time he appeared on screen. This delightful special is made even more meta by the fact that Peter Davison is officially David Tennant's father-in-law, after Tennant married Davison's daughter Georgia, who happened to play the 10th Doctor's biological daughter Jenny. Just like the Doctor himself, the meta moments in this episode aged very well. 9. Linda. Love and Monsters may be widely regarded as one of the most excruciatingly poor offerings in the show's history, but if you look beyond the cringe-worthy Absorbaloff, it's actually something of a meta masterpiece. Enter the London Investigation and Detective Agency, or Linda for short. They are a group of people united by their encounters with the Doctor, who meet regularly to discuss their shared fascination with the mysterious Time Lord. In other words, they're a Doctor Who fan club inside of Doctor Who. This is a brilliantly meta way of poking fun at fans and their quaint little gatherings, but it's also really sweet. The members of Linda quickly become close friends, sharing food and stories and even starting their own band. It's a lovely celebration of Doctor Who fandom, and you can tell that Russell was writing the episode from a place of love, having been a lifelong fan himself. 8. The 4th Doctor's acute observation. In this self-deprecating moment from Destiny of the Daleks, the writers decided to lampshade the show's minimal budget and limited array of filming locations. Having installed a randomizer in the TARDIS to help him evade the Black Guardian, the Doctor lands in a mystery location. Thanks to the randomizer, they could be anywhere in the entire universe. The possibilities are truly infinite. The Doctor, however, is greeted with the most disappointing of sights: a dull, grey cliff face, just like most other alien planets in the series.
Oh look, rocks!
This brilliantly acknowledges the recurring joke among fans that every alien planet in Doctor Who looks pretty much the same, since the limited budget means they're all filmed in quarries. 7. The 12th Doctor's TARDIS reaction. One of the more prevalent and enjoyable tropes in Doctor Who is the reaction of a new companion as they step into the TARDIS for the first time. There have been many "it's bigger on the inside" moments, and while some have been more subversive than others, none have been quite so self-referential as that of the Doctor himself. When the 12th Doctor crosses paths with River Song, he soon realizes that she doesn't recognize him, allowing the Doctor to act out his own ideal version of the TARDIS introduction scenes we've all grown accustomed to. Peter Capaldi acts his socks off, unleashing his inner fanboy with a hilarious speech that puts other TARDIS introduction scenes to shame. A final nod to the camera as the Doctor explains how he's always wanted to see that done properly is the oh so meta cherry on top. 6. The 3 Doctors. Multi-Doctor stories are always a treat, especially when it comes to self-referential meta moments that lovingly make fun of the show's history. 1973's The 3 Doctors features the first 3 Doctors interacting with each other, and it's simply marvellous to see. Sadly, however, while Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee all made full appearances, First Doctor William Hartnell had to limit his part to appearing on a television monitor, filmed separately with cue cards due to his declining health. Despite this compromise, the First Doctor makes a big impact, lording it over his future incarnations like an amused armchair critic, watching them through a screen just like a viewer would in a fantastically meta way. "Oh, so you're my replacements," he quips, and insults the bickering pair to show them who's boss, calling the 3rd and 2nd Doctors a dandy and a clown, respectively. 5. The Bootstrap Paradox Speech. Excellent two-part story Under the Lake / Before the Flood relies on a famous paradox to make its resolution work, and what better way to explain said paradox than the Doctor giving an explanatory speech directly to the viewer. The pre-credits scene of the second episode consists entirely of a monologue delivered to camera by the 12th Doctor, explaining the bootstrap paradox to the viewer as if we are his companion by discussing an example involving Ludwig van Beethoven. But it's not just the fact the Doctor is talking to the camera that makes this scene a masterclass in meta. He's explaining the ending of the episode in advance, assisting the viewer in understanding the very story we're about to watch, even going so far as to tell us to Google the bootstrap paradox. Just to cement this as an iconic meta moment, the Doctor begins playing Beethoven's Fifth Symphony on his electric guitar, which then transitions into an awesome rock rendition of the Doctor Who theme music, reportedly performed by Capaldi himself. Why can't every episode start like this? 4. The BBC Continuity Announcer. 7th Doctor Adventure Remembrance of the Daleks was set in November 1963, which any fan will recognise as the month and year that Doctor Who appeared on our screens for the very first time. It seems the show's creators couldn't resist using this to their advantage by sneaking in a cheeky meta reference to the show's airing. In episode 2, Ace just misses the very first episode of a brand new sci-fi TV show on the BBC. As she leaves the room, the camera zooms in on a television set with a BBC ident display, as the continuity announcer says the following: "This is BBC Television. The time is 5:15 and Saturday viewing continues with an adventure in the new science fiction series Doc..." Unfortunately, and of course deliberately, the rest of the announcement is cut off by a change of scene, but even casual viewers will understand that this is a meta joke in reference to Doctor Who itself. It has pretty massive implications, as this implies that Doctor Who exists as a TV show within Doctor Who itself. Weird. 3. Missy roleplays as the Doctor. The two-part finale to Series 10 is one of the best and most immersive stories in the show's history, so it is only fitting that it begins with a fourth-wall-breaking, suspension of disbelief-shattering scene in which Missy roleplays as the Doctor, mocking him and the show in the process.
Hello. I'm Doctor Who.
Just a few minutes in and Missy has already gone meta, reflecting the way the actor who plays the Doctor is often credited as Doctor Who. She takes the joke even further when she states that Doctor Who is the Doctor's real name, simultaneously poking fun at fans who get riled up when the Doctor is referred to that way, alas, I am one of them, and at the obsession with the Doctor's true identity. Missy goes on to introduce her plucky assistants in a hilarious teardown of Doctor Who's formula, calling Bill exposition and Nardole comic relief. As if that wasn't meta enough, when an alarm sounds, Missy says, "Oh, someone's watching," in a knowing reference to the viewer's role in this self-parody. 2. Every time anyone says Doctor Who. In a show as mercurial as Doctor Who, there is one unrelenting constant. Every time the Doctor introduces themselves, there's a pretty good chance they'll be met with the knowing reply of Doctor Who. When a character asks this, the viewer is reminded of the show they're watching, in case they forgot, and it would take a very sour grump not to crack a smile at the sheer cheesiness. Moffat, being as meta-obsessed as he is, took this running gag and tried to see how far he could push it in Series 6, when he turns it into a plot point in the ongoing series arc.
Doctor Who!
This ultimately culminates in the Series 7 finale, The Name of the Doctor, which subverts the setup by smartly keeping the Doctor's true identity a secret, allowing the running joke to continue.
Doctor what?
Number 1. The First Doctor's Festive Greeting. The 7th episode of the Daleks' Master Plan is the closest thing the classic series has to a Christmas special, and the First Doctor relishes in the opportunity to show off his Christmas spirit with a festive greeting, not just to his companions, but also to us, the viewers. After wishing Stephen and Sarah season's greetings, the Doctor turns directly to the camera, raises a glass, and says, incidentally, "A happy Christmas to all of you at home." This has to be the most meta moment in the show's history, as it's the only time the Doctor appears to display explicit knowledge of being on TV. There's no other way to explain it. He must be fully aware that he is a fictional character. And there you have it, folks, the 10 most meta Doctor Who moments ever. Feel free to drop this video a like if you enjoyed it, and drop me a follow on Twitter at @YouSlyDogU. I'm Will for WhoCulture, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.